Tell us why you decided to pull the trigger on him when you did the third part.
So Sean's a player that we think Sean's a player that we think deserves an opportunity on an AFL list, obviously. His performances over the last couple of years have been terrific, and this year he went to another level again, we felt. We were having a lot of picks at the draft, and so we wanted to get a bit of a mix and match type list profile, different types of positions and different types of age profiles, and so we're very, very happy to give Sean an opportunity. We know he's going to really appreciate it and come in and make an impact at our club straight away.
What changed from the mid-season draft? Because obviously everyone had a chance to get him then, and there was talk he could have gone then, but it was overlooked.
What changed? I guess a lot can change in 6 months from a mid-season draft. We had more list spots available now. We watched him play in the finals and against a Gold Coast Suns grand final team in the VFL that was stacked with AFL listed players. He performed so well. So we were very, very happy to give Sean an opportunity, as we were with all the players that we drafted, obviously.
Did his grand final performance basically guarantee that someone was going to pick him up in this draft? Do you reckon it sort of tipped him over the edge a bit?
I'm sure everybody, even those that were deciding in the end not to pick him, would have really noticed his performance in the grand final. It was outstanding. Not just then, though. We'd actually made up our mind before the grand final that we were very keen on Sean, and in some ways we were a bit disappointed that he played so well.
Do you think players are set about to be next year, or probably more up forward?
Sean will come in and provide, I suppose, depth in those positions that you mentioned there. Whether it be as the smaller forward or the midfielder that can play a variety of different roles. So we want Sean to come in, be himself. We know he's fit. We know he's very grateful for the opportunity, and he'll hit the ground running as soon as he gets there.
Do you set yourself a challenge of every draft trying to get someone from your backyard that no one's heard of, that's not on the radar, and sort of, I've got the next Tom Stewart here or something like that? Do you set yourself that challenge?
No, it's an interesting question. I don't set that challenge personally. I mean, we're just always trying to do what is in the best interest of the footy club, and the Geelong region is a great footy area, and the different leagues down there, there's players that develop at different rates. This year, Ollie Wiltshire, who came through the Bellarine Football League, Football and Netball League, he actually had a couple of games at the Geelong Falcons a couple of years ago and didn't go quite so well, but his performances over the last 2 years, and this year in particular, have been outstanding. Ollie's never done anything like an AFL pre-season, so it's going to be really interesting to see how he develops, and we see a lot of upside there. But there's great talent down in Geelong. It's there for everyone to see, though.
About him as a player.
So Ollie's is a smaller player, but got a great spring. He's a terrific endurance athlete, but can just do something that's a bit uncanny, I suppose. We'd all go and watch the footy and say, gee whiz, look at what Ollie's doing there. He can kick a brilliant goal, take a high mark, and we think, of course, there's a lot of upside given his coming from where he is.
What prompted you to pick him now rather than bring him through the VFL program like you've done in the past?
Looking back, we would have been better off picking Tom Stewart before he got into the VFL program. So, just Ollie's performances this year were outstanding, and we've felt that if we just took him through to the VFL program, that by the end of next year he might be going so well that we might miss him.
Were there any other clubs interested in linked to him at all?
I can't answer. I don't know if there were, but I know all the other recruiters at other clubs are very, very diligent and do their job brilliantly well, and I'm sure that they would have all heard of Ollie. It is each club's got their own circumstances when they're drafting, and we had a lot of picks tonight. He is a local, and for another club it mightn't have just been right for them. And Ollie's still got a long, long way to go though to make it as an AFL player, and he knows that.
You brought in Lawson Humphries as well. Similar story in the sense that he missed out in his top age draft year and comes back maybe 1 or 2 years afterwards. So were those two players perhaps originally you were looking at in their top age year, and now you've come back and really rated them?
Certainly their performances this year were more memorable than in their earlier years. Lawson's a player like Ollie, I suppose. As you said, he's played a lot better this year. He's really developed, and we like to pick are players that still have got improvement left in them, and that includes whether it be a 26-year-old Sean Manor or some younger fellas who have a couple of years out of the under-18 system, or the young fellas that are going well in the under-18 national championship, for example. So as long as they're showing that they can still improve, it's a good indicator to us that they're working hard and listening to their coaches. But yeah, Lawson this year wasn't really a consideration for us as a draftee a couple of years ago, but this year he is.
And on the flip side, I guess you've got a really ready A talent in George Stevens. We've seen him fairly closely in the VFL side. Tell us a bit about him.
Yeah, so George is ready-made in that he's a mature, strong body, but George has, in 2022, missed the whole year with a knee injury. So, we know that George has got a lot of development left in him still. He's got a lot of improvements that he's going to have to make it as an AFL player as well. So he was one of those other players that we just wanted to give an opportunity to this year, felt he deserved an opportunity, and we know he's going to be grateful for it and give it his best.
Well, there's always so much talk about this being a shallow draft, and you end up with 6 picks. It's, what did you see that others didn't?
No, I can't answer that. I can't. We just had available list spots this year, so I can't speak for the other clubs and what they're in thinking that they mightn't have seen what we did. But everybody goes to a draft with their own priority rankings, their own circumstances. This year, our circumstances were that we had 7 list spots, and a decent turnover of players was required. So, given the players that we've drafted, I think it's a good indicator that we're willing to give guys a chance that we still think have got some improvement in them, and we've certainly gone for a variety of different positions this year.
The NGA has been a bit of a talking point in this draft, and the West Coast is saying it's time for a bit of a conversation around it. They're sounding quite frustrated. What are your, you've been around the block a few times with recruiting. What's your thoughts on it?
What I do know is that with NGAs, there's because it's a zoning situation, that there's different zones are stronger than others, and right at the moment, if there was a way to even that up a bit, I think that would be good. I don't really feel comfortable answering an AFL rules question tonight. If you don't mind, we'll just sort of stick to the players that we've drafted. Thanks.
A lot of you clubs had concerns over George Stevens' speed and that sort of thing. Did you share those concerns, and I guess why did you pick him despite those queries in the club?
Every player we've picked tonight, I reckon every player that has been picked, even right at the very pointy end of the draft, have got to improve in certain areas. There's no such thing as a perfect player, I don't think. We take into account the areas of development for players, and we took into account the mix of players that we already had on our list. We'd already gone with the 2 very tall young fellas with our first 2 picks, and then after that, it was good to get a midfielder in, along with Sean as a mature age forward mid, and a couple of different types at their last couple of picks.
You get a lot of upside in Mitch Edwards. He had a frustrating year from what he describes, but what did you like about his season, and maybe what you saw from his bottom age campaign as well? Yeah,
so Mitch, it's not just 1 year that's got him drafted. He's been an outstanding ruck prospect for a couple of years at least. What do we like about it? Once again, we think he's got plenty of improvement left in him as his body fills out. He's a natural ruckman. He's very, very big, 206 centimetres with a big arm span, wingspan. Mitch is a driven player, skillful, and got the running capabilities to be a good AFL player if he develops well.
Was that more of a pick for list need or best available talent?
At that stage, as it turned out, we were considering some other players at that pick. As I said before, right through our selections, there were players that we were considering and would have been happy to pick under different circumstances, but there's a bit of a best for us at that time. So, Mitch, exceptional talent. We've already got Toby Conway on our list as a young tall that we're really excited about, and we think they can be a great combination.
Was it always the plan to take 6 players?
At some stages or other, we thought about taking 4, and other times we thought about taking 7. So we ended up with 6 because that's the way the draft went tonight.
And what's the plan going forward now for tomorrow?
I think to be confirmed by Andrew Mackey, but I reckon we're a chance to promote a player from our rookie list and have a rookie spot available. Thank you, everybody. I hope that all made sense.